live. So once it gives you the advertisement and everything's all done, let me know, and we'll check the sound, then I'll tree it.
Looks like it's off on.
Yeah, it'll be on in a second. I just started it. It has a 10-second delay.
Oh, here we go. Yep. Yep. Cool. Yeah, now I can hear myself and yourself on the delay.
It has a 10-second delay.
Here we go. Yep.
Okay. I'm setting the tree. Can you give RJ the link there?
He makes me so mad.
Alright. Treed. And I want that to loop.
So is the best way for me to follow the chat, just pause the video and then, great. Yeah, I'll just watch the chat there.
Cool. This is loop. How's the music volume? Is it too high?
I'm not listening to it anymore, but it was good when I was listening.
Okay, good.
Voices behind it.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna mute it when the game's going. Okay, let me check the game here. Stream ready. Close this, and this.
Welcome, folks, for the first of you tuning in. You are tuning in to the Miners round of 8, and we have the SemiProbots going up against the Orzaballs. SemiProbots are the #1 seed, and the Orzaballs are the 5th seed, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. 5th seed.
And Orzaballs came through with a 2-0 win in the round of 16. A clean sweep, 2 games, a strong win in the first game, a small one in the second. And the SemiProbots came through 2-1, and they split and then won in overtime. So it should be a good matchup for you. We should be underway pretty soon for you guys. We've got everybody in their spots and people getting the spec spots they need.
Alright, I've sent the message. It's not treed, but it's sent to individual large channels, so everyone should have gotten it.
Great.
So we are ready to go here. Let me move Mumble over to this window. Make it a little smaller. That way I can grab it when I'm full screen over here. Okay, let's pop out the chat. Put it over there. And close Twitch. So that should work. There we go. It worked. Okay, we're ready. The group is ready, so we're about to go.
Fantastic. We are almost underway here, folks.
Oh, fuck.
What?
My Saxor just came in. I haven't looked at it yet. Oh, fuck me.
Your what?
My LSAT score just came out. I'll be back. I'm gonna look at this in either cry or scream. I'll let you know.
Alright, we're gonna mute this music now. Since we're about to start the game.
And we are underway. SemiProbots up against Orzaballs on Boombox. Week 2 of the postseason. Welcome, folks who are tuning in. Hope you guys enjoy the show. We have on the Probots, Pinox, definitely the offensive figurehead. Look at him to try and get the caps for his team. Lead the way. On the other side, Scott, they're both in the top 5 caps over the course of the season, They're both heavy hitters, and look to see who can get around those tight contains, to contain them on this map. Teams are going to need a really good communication. We have a TagPro going off of the bat to the Orzaballs, while meanwhile Rolling Bomb goes to the SemiProbots. That's an early advantage. See if they can capitalize. Scott being contained nice and slow by Walrus and Cripple. How much time left on that TagPro? He's going to look to get a kill before he... Nope, not quite. Both teams electing to boost in from afar. Standard strategy on this map to try and knock the 2 defenders off of the flag. Defenders sometimes will go out and try and clear those boosts before that can happen, especially if their offense just doing their team a favor. Got not too long till the next round of power-ups. Stewart's already popping into the corner to get that one. Scott and Tiras look to try and get out of base. Well, nope, Scott dips off. Goes down to the bottom power-up. Pinox uncontested at middle. This is surprising. That's frankly shocking that Tiras and Pinox have, got, well, specifically Pinox, nobody is contesting him for that TagPro, which is going to allow him to do defense essentially on his own, or assist Stewart in getting out. He's going to try and follow Stewart back to base potentially to get some clear out the base. Nope. Pinox elects to stay on regrab, which pays off. Scott, meanwhile, is potentially out of base, but Walrus and Stewart are close to close him down. Pinox not electing to go very far back until he's got a regrab, and then just taking his time and with the assist of some blocks, potentially getting out. Yep, getting out 3 and 4. Good patience by Pinox, just making sure his team is set up to get that chain, because once you open the chain, you're in the next stage of the game, as it were. Pinox having no trouble while Walrus and Cripple take down the Orzaballs flag carrier, Scott. Now Neb really needs to stay alive because Pinox is in on base. Cripple can't quite get a defuse even on Neb, who's managed to pick up a rolling bomb in the corner. Good heads up play by him, getting those power-ups as a flag carrier. They're the people who really need it. Stewart not going to take any chances, sitting right on flag. Pretty solid defensive performance from both teams so far. We had the flags in base for a long time. Stewart is going sneaky top. Sneaky top looks like it may pay off. He cuts down to 2 to play it safe, and his team has the blocks. Cripple and Walrus absolutely shutting down Scott to let Stewart creep in for the first cap of the game. Pinox now is looking to get the next grab. Can't quite squeak out. Tyrus, the important return to stabilize. Scott, meanwhile, is out 2, ahead of 2. Cripple and Walrus caught a little slack-jawed there. Walrus, though, is on his tail. Gets the return. Stewart going to fight for the power-up, and a name Vorage is there. Cripple, meanwhile, gets his own base. Tyrus managed to get a TagPro. See if they can use that to potentially tie up the game. Cripple, though, Juke Juice doing just enough. Walrus and Cripple keeping Scott away from that flag forcibly until TagPro runs out. Good defense there. And as soon as the danger is gone, Scott gets out of base anyway. Scott just barely staying in front of his pursuers. Can't quite sneak into the power-up. Panox, meanwhile, is out past 4 in the other direction, but no return is inbound. This after some solid regrab chains, we had a period there where either team was in a potential 3-pass cap scenario. Neither team was able to capitalize from it, but the game is certainly opening up as we go on, and these teams figure out each other's playstyle. Panox, meanwhile, has Cripple to help him clear out the base. Cripple needs that return if he wants to cap, doesn't quite get aggressive enough for it. Maybe poor communication, maybe just conservative play, but he potentially could have got his team a cap with a 2-man contain there. Waller's having no trouble sneaking bottom, but now can he stay alive? Well, his team gets another return. Stewart getting an easy solo return there with the juke juice. Walrus trying to creep in close to base, but doing a great job just holding the flag, having no problem with only one person chasing him right now. Scott needs to communicate with a named voyage. Oh, looks like he's got a chance for a snipe. He gets the contain and the return. Good job by Scott. Patient. Playing some Dolphins. So pretty calm game so far. Just one cap separating the side. Stewart with a great cap after being set up by his offensive partner Pnoxt. Yep. Nobody quite. Ooh, Stewart. That's the second time he's gone secret top. Pnoxt hurts him, helps him. Hard to say at this point. Stewart didn't have a return coming anyway. But yeah, mix-ups in those two channels can be deadly for teams. Walrus with a pursuer so tight on his heels that he manages to get a button kill on them. Maybe not impactful in the long run, but certainly style points for him. Well, it may not be impactful in the short term. I think when you look at the board, oh, Panox, beautiful split, bouncing off of the wall on a named voyage and Nebuchadnezzar, but gets returned in the end. Walrus, 6 returns, very good defensive performance from Walrus. Scott, meanwhile, has a chance to get in base. Walrus gets there in time, even gets out of base. Past 3. Now it's a return for cap scenario in the other direction. Caps the return, as they would say. Walrus comes in close, elects to go for a lap. Stewart and Cripple, nice and slow together, getting that contain, forcing Neb into uncomfortable positions, and then Stewart boosts out a little hastily and allows Neb to get in a better scenario. But Panoxt makes the return. Even offense players have to get returns, people. Cripple, meanwhile, is the last one ahead and gets the return. He doesn't get blocked out by 2 players. Great last man defense from Cripple there, and what could have been the tying cap in the game. Both teams having good chances. I wouldn't put either team above the other at this point in the game by any means. They're both creating opportunities, only one of which has been finished. Cripple, another return. Cripple, 8 returns now. And again, solo return. Straight line strats from Tyrus. In the end, not good enough. Cripple diffuses all those. Oh! Almost pulls off the button return with a bizarre angle off of the rolling bomb. Intentional or not, it's hard to tell, but it surely would have been fantastic. Stewart. Cripple. Immaculate positioning from Cripple and Stewart there, and now they look like they're in a position to potentially get some power-ups. Doesn't matter what it is, what map it is, getting a shutout for 10 minutes is not easy playing against this caliber of players. Full credit to Cripple and Walrus for doing just that. And there we go, another scenario where they managed to lighten the TagPro lead scenario. Panoxt, great feint on an Ain Voyage. Now Nebuchadnezzar needs to stay ahead. Panoxt bouncing off that wall It's a trick he likes. I wonder if we're going to see the other team pick up on that and be a little more well prepared for it next time. You'd like to hope so. Pinocchio's just toying with the two chasers, they're just not confident to close him down and separate from the unit because his moves are just so wily. Scott, good communication from his teammate, gets the return on the button. One more round of power-ups this game. See if anybody can take advantage of that. Ooh, and there, yep, just as I say it, Nain Voyage takes the mid power-up, and he's going to communicate to the partners that maybe the corner power-ups are soon, and maybe those can influence the last 30 seconds of this game. Cripple, good button return, or button kill on Scott. But Tyrus takes advantage of it and gets out 2, 3, down to 3 again, and Stewart. Ooh, the button. Nobody gets the button in time, but Pinocchio gets to the player. Even more important. Ooh, it's a return for cap scenario. If Stewart and Cripple can get there, Walrus is on flag. Pinocchio needs to hop off flag and try and... Nope, he's not going to happen.
2, 1.
And there we go. Into the end of the first half, we have Stewart with the deciding cap thus far. Good performances by a lot of players. We saw Pinocchio's quiet down there, but Cripple really a lot of last man returns. Strong performance. And Nain Voyage, of course, doing the heavy hitting on his team.
All right, yeah, great first half. Some replays for you that we were able to pick up. First is the first cap here. Let's see if it works out. Yep, it does. First cap here. You see Tyrus get returned, and Scott be able to be blocked out here by Cripple and Walrus, playing excellent D all game.
The text. All right, great. Yep.
Yeah, it should be working. Next, you've got Walrus here with some, Peanut here with some great jukes. Coming in for a nice split there off the wall. All game, he was able to pull that off. They weren't ready for it. Another thing right here, Walrus, last man on D, makes a great last second play. Oh, well, it was supposed to be Walrus on D. Oh, it is Cripple on D with a last second return. Saves them from the tie. Very good first half. So we've got a 1-0 first half. And I apologize. I did not change the scoreboard that whole time. SemiProbots 1, Orzaballs 0 for the first half.
Yep. Here we should attempt to link out halftime. Yep, not a whole lot separating these sides. Thank you for highlights. That's awesome to be able to have a montage of all the best things that happened in the half. That's nice. How long have you been working on that?
I actually just got it worked out a couple days ago. Some guy who streams Super Bowl gave me the plugin for it, and then
thank you very much, Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was using the in OBS replay option that gives you a buffer, and then you can save the buffer. So I'm saving the buffer and putting it in. Hold on a second. I'll let them know the stream's ready. Saving the buffer, and then bringing the file in to OBS to play it. And we're back up.
Yep, we are back live. Game 1, half 2. SemiProbots, Orzaballs. First seed taking on the 5th seed and currently up 1-0 by a very narrow margin. Really not a whole lot separating these sides. Fantastic performances. Really defensive. We saw some much higher scoring games, much more dramatic games perhaps yesterday in the major circuit, but this has been a skill for performance by in just as many ways.
Three, two, one.
Two TagPros potentially for red team, as they may have a better boost for the mid pop. Neb doesn't quite get there. Cripple splits the TagPros, one to each team, and kisses them. Not a bad play. He gets the reset on defense. His team has a chance to get out. Stewart electing to do just that, making his way bottom, and Pinocchio will have the button blocked. Stewart doesn't want to bring the flag back into base to put the regrab hurt on Pinocchio, but The defender is not far away, and Pinoxt is... Ooh, Stewart spikes himself on the way back to offense. But Pinoxt manages to go it alone and get out. Not strong contained from Neb and main Voyage there. Pinoxt now needs some better blocks from his team, but in the end, too many players. Stewart gets the free grab, heads down to the hidey hole, but Neb knows that and is going to try and snipe him. Great snipe from Neb. He just knew Stewart was sitting there. Intuitive play from him. Stewart not going to make that mistake again, if you ask me. Walrus has a TagPro to try and mix things up. Ooh, ends up pulling. Not terrible, but certainly not the best scenario. Oh, it runs out. And now Pinox is going to be left to try and get out alone. Ooh. Nope, Walrus. Pinox electing to help out a little bit. Walrus, in the end, only buying so many yards for Pinox, who in the end is contained as well. About as futile over on the other side. Scott. Ooh, great button play by... That timing was impeccable. Scott just sneaks out the gate. Wallace and Cripple left their jaws on the floor, and Pinox gets the call out for 2. In the end, plays it so safe that Scott manages to pull a U-turn. Scott, great escape from base. Cripple with the juke juice. That ought to clean the scenario up. Ooh, great escape too by Tyrus. He's ahead of 2 with a juke juice. Pinox sitting on that boost. Perhaps blows his load a little early there. And the blocks are impeccable from Orzaballs, but in the end, not quite enough. Meanwhile, they have a second chance coming in through their leader, Scott. Their offensive leader, that is. Great blocks from the name Voyage, and we are tied up 1-1. Each defensive player just picked out somebody and blocked him out. And great execution. And the chain is still open. They had a regrab while the SemiProbots have not had a chance to get out of base in the last minute or so. Next, a new round of power-ups coming. That'll be certainly influential in this struggle for the SemiProbots to break the chain. Orzabal is picking up a TagPro, while 2 rolling bombs go to the SemiProbots. Crippled has his on defense, and it won't do anything. Stewart, ooh, good feint, gets out 2. Is ahead of 3. It's a return for cap scenario. Ooh, but there's a TagPro there to help out, and Scott, going it alone, gets the return. Doing the work of 2 right now. Cripple, strong return. Is there going to be a block? No, there's going to be a tap to a return. Walrus unwittingly killing his partner. And we have both flags back in base, but certainly the Orzaballs coming at this game with a little more fight than the last one off the get-go. The last game started very docile, and the Orzaballs are having no trouble getting out of base. Meanwhile, Pinox throwing the moves down on Inane, but Neb is there to help out. Stewart elects to stay and get the... Oh, doesn't even have time to get the power-up, which spawns right behind him, but does have time to save his team from a cap and get out past 4.
Oh my god.
Great decision making. That is where a worst player would falter.
Did someone spike?
No, I'm not sure what's happening on the other end. There must have been a solo return, which I wish I could have, noticed as well. I was
Someone
looking.
spawned with a rolling bomb. I think that's
Ah,
indication of spiking.
yep. It sure is. I wish I could tell you what exactly happened, folks. I hope you guys caught it, and I'm the only one that missed
Yeah,
it.
could have
But
been gate, actually.
Stewart was inches from the power up, got the call out that he was the last man ahead, sprinted out of there, avoided 2 blockers to grab and buy his team enough time to get the return. He, meanwhile, U-turned around them and got out for a cap in the other direction due to the last man ahead for Orzabal spiking. And we are back up 2-1 for the SemiProbots. Walrus and Stewart need this return. They get it. And we're reset for both sides. Oh, power-ups are the current focus. Tyrus already getting one of them. Getting the middle, doubling up on juke juices. Stewart gets one for his team. Finally gets that juke juice that he wanted in the corner. You did it, Stewart. You did it the right way, too. Oh, we've got a need for a sub. It looks like we have BDL coming in for Pinoxt. BDL, a strong, talented player. I'm not sure how many minutes he got this season because he's on a very, very deep, solid team. But comes in right away, perfect positioning to get a return and resets on defense. BDL typically an offense player, so look to see his versatility now as his team needs to hold out for another 4 minutes. It's a 2-1 lead.
Just ignore the reversed positions right now for SemiProbots.
Yeah, we'll probably get a reset relatively soon, in which we'll see BDL head back on offense once Cripple can manage to get back. One TagPro going to the Orzaballs. Nebuchadnezzar just cannot get close to that middle power up because Stewart and Cripple are working at it together. They get it and are perhaps rewarded, but another Cripple makes it out of base. Stewart looking to block for him. Cripple is past 2, but a TagPro is going to make it tough for his team. Strong kiss. He knows Stewart is there with the juke juice, and Stewart sneaks out bottom. Great scenario if he can only get past. It looks like he has. The blocks aren't quite there from Wallace and Cripple. If Stewart had gone bottom, maybe, but there was other people rushing on there. Walrus can't quite sneak out. Neither can Tyrus. BDL has the regrab though and is coming in past 2. Strong scenario here with 2 blockers there. Putting in not quite good enough blocks. Oh, but a return. Oh, just in time for BDL to sneak in and double the lead. They're up by 2 caps now, 3-1 over the Orzaballs. And Stewart is coming in. They're showing no signs of holding up. BDL, yeah, their chain is continued. BDL's there on re. Cripple has another open field return. Cripple, 14 returns. Immense defensive performance by him. They did, of course, give up a cap at the beginning, but they have responded in good fashion. Orzaballs playing incredibly well in the first half and still very well this half, but just getting caught out a little bit by another fantastic set of blocks by Stewart and Cripple. Walrus, Cripple, Stewart working in tandem. Maybe a little gratuitous there, but why not when you're up by 2? You've only got 2 minutes left to hold out. But let's see what Scott has to say about that. Scott, 3rd most caps in the league, a true powerhouse, and has already shown us very good play so far. Let's see if he helps. Yep, Tyrus not quite getting out. Scott not quite on regrab. Scott is, however, sneaking in for the bottom right power up, which unfortunately was only a rolling bomb. You like to see a player who beats 2 other players for power up rewarded and get something that they can actually use. But regardless, he is out. Stops to try and get a juke juice. Potentially loses all of his momentum, in which he was nearly past 4 with a couple of blocks. I think he actually was past 4. And his partner ends up getting the power up anyway. That's a little bit of that greediness that is unfortunate because it's instinctive perhaps, but may have cost him a cap. 1 minute left. Both teams flags at a base, just entering a relatively chasey portion of the game. Tyrus leads BDL into the spikes. You always love to see someone juke so well that the people chasing them die. Cripple, open field contained, doing it alone. Cripple, really, really strong defensive performance. To be able to return someone alone on this map is not something to be taken lightly. BDL just barely getting bottom. Inane getting back ahead. Good positioning by him. Yep, great contain. Good slow contain by Inane Voyage. Scott with a solitary cap, it looks like potentially for the Orzaballs this game. They really did start this game with a lot of heat. Some very impressive plays and some very close scenarios. Narrowly a cap that Stewart then turned into a counter cap. But I certainly don't think they're down and out. I think they were the victim of a pretty good chain this game. Cripple and Stewart doing just enough to prevent a last-minute cap there, which would have been in the end futile. Good half though, fantastic stuff.
Very good, yeah.
Yeah, so if you're just tuning in here, folks, the update is the SemiProbots have taken Game 1 over the Orzaballs. And the first half was very close. Second half, we saw the SemiProbots run away with it a little bit, just only due to 1 or 2 chains. It's not like they dominated the whole game. They just, they in the end had the final push to make them count.
Alright, I want to go over real quick. We've got the highlights from Game 1, Half 2. If you missed it, here they are. First is the first cap for the Orzaballs in this half. Scott comes in, able to get some good blocks from his teammates for an easy cap. Second highlight here, we're going to have Scott getting through the gate here with some excellent button control by Tyrus, fending off Walrus and Cripple at the same time. He's able to juke around and get not quite in there, but he'll have to take some laps. Next, you've got a really smart kiss, indicative of the play all half with the SemiProbots going in for a cap there, knowing that it might have been risky. And last, we're going to have a couple of caps from SemiProbots. BDL here, the flag carrier, getting some great blocks from his teammates. Very slow going, very patient. Next here, you have Walrus going through the back door, able to get a quick cap from some excellent blocks from his team. Looks like they're talking over what's going to happen next with the substitutes and everything. I apologize for not updating the score during the game. Trying to get this new replay thing working. So the first game, we have SemiProbots 4, Orzaballs 1.
I apologize, folks. I forgot to introduce myself and the stream again. Once the bulk majority of you guys got here, I am Swergonomics. That's not the important part, though. The important part is the TagPro that we're bringing to you guys, and it's been a fantastic game so far, really heating up towards the end. And then, of course, Aaron215 running the stream. Some fantastic technology. I love the highlights. I'm, as you may have noticed from my commentary, a soccer fan, a football fan, and you'll notice a lot of that dipping into my lingo.
Doesn't look like we're having any subs yet. The lineup still looks pretty static. For the Orzaballs, we're going to have Nebuchadnezzar, Inane Voyage, Tyrus, and Scott, just like we did last half. And for the SemiProbots, it looks like they're sticking with Cripple. Oh, nope, they're making some changes now. Looks like Matty Ice is going to be brought in, probably for defense.
Matty Ice, certainly a leader in terms of statistically for the SemiProbots throughout the season, and to see him sit, I personally don't know why. Maybe perhaps some of the other players are performing better in practice, but he's coming in now, and we can all expect a very good performance from him.
They're taking out Walrus, who over the last, I'd say, last month and a half, Walrus has definitely taken off with flag carrying. Walrus is almost untouchable at times, and I think I actually have a highlight of that from the last half. Let me go ahead and show the replays from the last game, if it'll work real quick. Hold on. Maybe it won't.
I see
There we
someone
go.
asking in the chat what kind of tournament this is. This is at the end of the regular season of the minor league TagPro season. This is the equidistant 8, the final 8 teams left in the playoff season, and it's the best of 3 games. Oh, fantastic! There's that replay. We have a series of 3 games, and the SemiProbots have just taken the first game, and we'll soon be going into game 2.
Here's a quick highlight of Walrus's flag carrying ability from the last half. Oh, never mind. That's not what that was. It was for Cripple's last man defense. Yeah, the flag carrying for this team, the SemiProbots, is very good, especially with Peanut and Walrus. BDL, you'll see, makes some very good micro jukes, but I think Peanut and Walrus definitely lead the team with carries.
Peanut, Pinoxt, however you say it. I apologize. I certainly am saying a lot of these names wrong. Feel free
Oh
to
yeah,
correct me
no.
on them in the future.
You're actually saying it correctly. We just call him Peanut.
Peanuts. Yeah, no, I've certainly heard that before, and the jury is out which one will stick harder in the long run. But he looks like he was having some lag issues. I don't even see him back in the group, so
No.
his team is going to need to reevaluate their plan of approach, maybe have some chemistry with some good new starting 4. These are the SemiProbots are a center team, and certainly a lot of these players are part of a group of center players that have known each other for a while and have a lot of chemistry from playing outside of just this team. This game, just as the last, being brought to you on Sphere.
Looks like RJ Rough Justice says that Peanut is there, but he is having some lag issues, like you mentioned, which is why he got. Did he get subbed out? Was he the one who got subbed out?
Yeah, BDL
came in
on
for
the
him.
fly
Yeah, exactly.
on offense.
It looks like RJ and Teddy Bear are headed back up to the SemiProbots room to have a quick chat before the game starts, and they're starting right now.
We're underway. I should have gotten some water during the intermission. Welcome back, folks. We are nearly underway in Game 2. Look for Orzaballs to try and fight back with all they have, because if they lose this game, that's the end of their season. That's the sad part, folks. Only one of these teams can go on to the final Fochi 4? Is it something like that? Sorry, I should probably be more read up. We have a Juke Juice middle, a TagPro going to the SemiProbots, an advantage off the bat. Stewart can't quite sneak in. Scott, great boost to get the middle power up. BDL arriving on the scene on offense with that TagPro. Already has 1 kill and a defuse. Looking to get a few more. Stewart can't quite get close to the flag. BDL goes at it alone. Stewart has his regrab and he's going to need to. Oh, good blocks. Stewart in the end leaves regrab and tries to do some blocking, which doesn't really pay off. Scott and Tyrus not managed to move the flag, but Tyrus is going to boost up into base, pull really interesting angle, sitting up on the bottom of that little platform, or on the top of that platform, just barely clips the boost and nails the flag at an angle that maybe some defenders aren't quite ready for. He's gotten out of base ahead of 3 for it. Neb and Inane Voyage need the blocks, find them. Stewart can't quite get there. He's behind on that X-axis, and we have Scott going top, trying to make it 2. The block, the button probably would have been there, but I think it was communicated to him that he didn't quite have the button. Better to play it safe. Tyrus has a regrab with a rolling bomb, and the Orzaballs are starting this game with a little bit of fire. It's nice to see them, fight back. You like to see a good game. You don't want to see a team get rolled over. Scott on the flag stays there for as long as possible before he needs to move on, because his team does not have an impending return. BDL giving the slip to Inane Voyage and Neb. Scott can't do the same to Stewart and Cripple. We've settled into a bit of a lull here. We've got both flags out of base, both teams with strong regrab chains, and BDL doing all he can, just narrowly avoiding. Oh, can't avoid Neb, who peeks his nose out from regrab and gets the return. Stewart going sneaky top again. I'd look forward to the time at which the other team catches on that Stewart likes to go sneaky top. BDL, button return. Looking to make things happen with his Juke Juice. If Cripple can only die. Nope, Cripple's got the button for him. Cripple, past a few. That boost from Scott puts almost all of his team out of position. Cripple has a minefield of players to weave through. Gets past 1, gets past 2. Gets past many, but in the end, can't quite get it. Inane boosting back into base, but not too far because he manages to bounce back, use some momentum to get another turn. Matty can't quite throw the move on despite his Juke Juice. Cripple, BDL letting Neb out of base. He is past 3. Stewart playing it slow, cool, calm, collected, because this is the important return. And he does just enough. But Cripple grabs, doesn't make it out of base. Matty Ice gets the important return. Inane Voyage, 5 returns already.
Just to break in here, they've been clutch ones too.
Yep, absolutely. BDL gets out of base in the chaos of the power-up battle. BDL is squeaking around bottom. Can't quite get past the Nane, who's the man who likes to sit a little bit deeper when his other team lunges in. And just as I say that, he lunges in and lets Stewart get past him intact. Stewart gets defused. Elects to play it safe when perhaps it may have been the time to push. Inane Voyage, strong snipe. BDL, waiting for that regrab. Sneaking up, beautiful little boost. Inane, not falling for it today. Really good performance by him. Put his team up 1-0. Stewart sitting in the hidey hole. Scott aware. Stewart gets the last laugh as BDL gets a button kill. Stewart waiting for the moment, finds it, sneaks, Cripple needs to block. Stewart can't quite find the angle. Scott, meanwhile, is out past 3 and look for his team to rush to try and get that return that could lead to them doubling their lead. BDL looks for the kiss, can't find it. His team is there to support him. Matty Ice. Stewart past 3. Return for Cap Scenario in the other direction. BDL can't quite find it. Oh, but there's a lot of time for his team to get it. They've got another 3 or 4 seconds. And BDL and Cripple can't get there in time. Scott gets a timely button return of his own. Matty Ice playing it safe, waiting for his team to get back ahead. BDL stops Neb from sneaking through that one little tile gate area. I gotta say, in that scenario, just because it's so obscure, I always support the guys in the little tile. You want to see him get out. I mean, you could be supporting either team, but at that point, we're all just TagPro players, and we want to see him make it through the one tile square. BDL leaving Inane reeling in the dust as he reverses directions. Inane bites in on the end. BDL needs his teammates to put up a return or two because in the end he's not going to be able to catch. Oh my goodness. Cripple on regrab. Let's see what he can do with it. He might elect to wait until a couple players close in on him before pushing it out of base. Great snipe by Inane Voyage. He knows those players that are sitting in that hidey hole, and he puts the pressure on them, and it has worked. He's hit that snipe a few times this game. You like to see that awareness. Matty Ice with the TagPro looking to lead his partner out of base, potentially 4-beat scenario. Great return by Inane. Incredible performance by him so far. He's got 10 returns, and all of them important. Stewart sends his partner to the grave with an unfortunate bounce. That's the kind of thing that is beyond communication. Sometimes one person goes left and the other person goes right, and you just bump into each other. It's times like that that remind us of the slapstick nature. Both teams flags in base. As soon as I say that, of course, BDL gets out and sets up a potential handoff for Stewart. Stewart elects not to take it, knowing that power-ups are coming up soon. Good play. Cripple has a TagPro and a Juke Juice and is looking to get into base as soon as possible. We have a live sub. Oh nope, we just have Tears refreshing. May have been having some lag issues. Stewart is past 2. Matty Ice can't quite snipe that button. Stewart waiting for the opportunity. Knows it's not there. Elects to take his time and back out for a couple minutes. It's interesting seeing that sequence that the Orzaballs with only a 1-cap lead, but really pushing for that kiss, despite, you know, of course, only being up by 1 cap. You know, they're happy to go into halftime with that lead, it looks like. Maybe it's just that one player's individual preference, but sometimes the team is conscious of the fact that kissing might be in their best interest, especially if their positioning set up for it. BDL potentially out past 2, sneaking down from 2 to 3, and has 3 ahead, 4 ahead. Stewart ready for the regrab as BDL tries to put it all on his shoulders. Stewart sneaking top, Inane Voyage ready for it this time. Stewart gets a button kill, and Stewart, he is a firm believer in sneaking top. I wouldn't call him Alvin strats because he seems to do it every time as opposed to just some of the time. But Stewart moves down to bottom out of his comfort zone and gets returned. Inane getting the clinic put on for him by BDL despite his juke juice. Scott following up behind makes no similar mistake. Cripple potentially out with juke juice. Neb picks up a juke juice of his own in the corner. The last round of power-ups. Cripple, many to beat, knows that it's just surely death to go into that little tunnel, so he tries to find some new areas to work with. Stewart, not much time to work with. 10 seconds, in fact. This is going to be the last scoring opportunity of the game. Stewart, pass 2. He's going to need a really good boost, but Scott and Inane Voyage
3,
are
2,
hip to the situation and allow no such tomfoolery. It's the end of the first half of Game 2. And we have the Orzaballs fighting back to a 1-cap lead. We've got some highlights for you guys. Thank you.
Give me just a second. Make sure I've got all
Absolutely.
these on here. There weren't many caps, so we're just going to go ahead and get you some jukes and stuff here. Go ahead and throw up the BRB screen. I think we'll find that the player of the half for that one was Inane Voyage. Definitely lots of clutch returns. Got a few of them here for you. There we go. Let's go ahead and show you this real quick. Here's the first right here. Got the first cap for Orzaballs for this half. One they held on to for dear life. For some jukes, we got BDL here giving Inane Voyage a run for his money. It doesn't end up in a cap, but he did live for long enough for the SemiProbots to take care of Tyrus. Stewart here with another couple jukes that gets him past Inane Voyage and Nebuchadnezzar. But not quite able to get the blocks. Tyrus able to hold on for the last man return. Here we'll have an Inane Voyage coming in, getting an important return. I believe that's what this is, boost spawn. Next we have an Inane Voyage and Tyrus trying to close in on Cripple here. Inane Voyage, like you had said earlier, knows that they're trying to wait on that backward or that bottom boost. Matty Ice here with the TagPro escort, but Inane able to get around the back and sneak in for the return. Definitely Inane Voyage was one of the highlight reel players.
Last game we saw the SemiProbots take a 1-0 lead into the halftime. This time it's going the other way. Orzaballs. Does that mean they'll end up on top? I'm not privy to say.
Doesn't look like we're going to see any player substitutions. SemiProbots are waiting on something, so we might see one. They haven't decided yet, though.
Interesting. If you guys are just tuning in, we're coming into the second half of Game 2 of the equidistant 8, final 8 as it were, of the SemiProbots, the number 1 seed, and the Orzaballs, the number 5 seed.
Ranger TagPro saying in the chat that the stats didn't seem to line up. I think it was from Tyrus Refreshing, but Spin It brings up a good point that Voyage had 4 with 15 tags and a cap. Oh, it was 4th. Voyage was 4th with 15 tags and a cap. Like we said, the defense from St. Aaron Voyage was great.
Interesting. We'll keep an eye out for that in the next game. Thanks for pointing that out.
They said the stats didn't seem to line up because the top 3 were all red.
Right.
Even though
I wonder if that potentially had to do with more deaths for Inane Voyage, or just perhaps players on the other team not dying that much. I'm not sure.
It could have been the players on Orzaballs had spread out their stat actions, while the players on SemiProbots specialized in that half. So one person had all the returns, one person had all the support or prevent time. It would put them ahead of the other team.
Food for thought.
Yeah.
I saw the suggestion by, I forget which developer it was, but that the more specific stat categories be added in. And I read about them. One of them was power-ups, one of them was block time, and there was a couple other that, I was really looking forward to seeing, and I haven't seen them, and I can't remember quite if it was like a promise that they were going to be implemented or just a suggestion that more interesting stats could be added to the vanilla version of the game. But I'd be interested to see that.
Okay, yeah. When Tyrus refreshed, it removed his cap. He was the one who had the cap, according to Ranger TagPro. And so that's probably what it is.
I guess I'm not necessary anymore.
Why is that?
They don't need me anymore.
Whoa. Who's spamming Mumble?
Yep. We're streaming
Chill,
in
Curry.
here, guys.
Curry, you dumbass. Ban the Curry. Ban him.
The Orzaballs have decided to pull out their Flying V strat. So it looks like may see something innovative from them.
I look forward to that.
Me
Flying
too.
V was called out by Dude McGuy. Maybe got some inside sources. Inane, quick to
Or just somebody spec glitch me, I don't care. Cool.
Aaron, do we want to head up a channel?
Sure. Is there a channel up there? Oh yeah, we'll do that. All right. Looks like we're about to get started here.
There we go. Game is underway.
Hold on.
We
just a second.
are joining the game now. We have a couple rolling bombs and a juke juice that will be going to the semi-probots. So I'm not quite sure which team is which right now. There we go, yep. Juke juice going to semi-probots on the right side in blue. They're, just a quick reminder, up 1 game, but down by 1 cap in this half. Tyrus gets away with that rolling bomb attack to see if he can push those defenders away from the base at all. Can't quite get the right angles needed for a grab. BDL, meanwhile, pulling with Juke Juice and making those defenders nervous. Inane just not falling for it today. Really, really impressive performance from him. I didn't see his name too high up on the stat boards. I myself was not privy to too many of the minors league games, so I'm not sure how much time he played, but he's playing well in the postseason, and that's what really matters. Scott, second cap for his team, who have opened up a great account. Cripple shuts down the chain with a boost back into base. But a great strong early lead brought to us by the Orzaballs, who opened up their lead, turned it to 3 caps. Scott getting a heads up button return on Cripple. Tyrus with a perhaps foolhardy grab, but Scott, impeccable button control. How did he beat 2 players, one of which who had a juke juice, to allow Tyrus out bottom? Tyrus heads up boost to sneak around Cripple and the Walrus, who was positioned down low. He in the end is gonna have to do a little bit of special maneuvering to stay alive, and does. BDL being contained very well by Neb. Stewart, sneaky top. The other team, do they know it's Stewart? Do they know he's top? They find out eventually. I, myself, am much more of a fan of sneaky bottom on this map. Sometimes, if you just hug that bottom wall, similar to the way Stewart's hugging that top wall, and they don't close you down fast enough, you can find yourself in your base's bottom area before the other team knows what's going on. And then, of course, your teammates can just close up the button control and it's all done. Inane, not quite able to get to that rolling bomb. But the SemiProbots are able to get themselves a cap to get back in the game. Only down by 2 now. Cripple looking to get out. Doesn't quite get it. BDL. Impending doom is surely near for BDL as Scott waits for his 3 teammates there to help him to clean up the last man back. And they do it. 3 cap lead again. Orzaballs. And this game has had far more caps than we've seen in the other games early on. Oh, this half at least. I guess it's similar to the second half of the last game in that sense. Roles reversed though, of course, and that is the important part. Neb and Inane Voyage trying to keep BDL in their safe area. Inane, fantastic positioning. Said his name a lot this game, and certainly means it's because of the good things he's doing. BDL trying to fight for mid, gets it, and he's now going to have juke juice on regrab. Walrus picks up a rolling bomb that he ends up using to return Tyrus. Stewart wants that return, isn't going to get it. Cripple is, however, and BDL has a strong opportunity with 3 to beat and a couple blockers who might just be able to help him out in that regard. Are the blocks there? Not quite. Not quite enough momentum to push through that thick pack of balls. Neb, past 4. SemiProbots at odds and ends to make this work. Because, of course, if they lose this game, Orzaballs have the momentum coming into the final game of the series. Stewart just barely staying alive past Scott, who had a juke juice, and now is contained by Neb. Scott really worked for that return. He was on his heels for perhaps 15 to 20 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in this game, to be that close to the player for that long is no mean feat. BDL coming up bottom. Sees a power up. It's going to go in there, and I suspect pay the price for it. Yep. Neb is hip to the groove and not going to fall for that. Scott sneaks out bottom, fooling BDL temporarily, who is quickly around to say, no. I'll not be outmaneuvered that easily. Stewart has 5 minutes. There's 5 minutes for his team, who are down by a few caps. Elects not to boost when really it perhaps would have been the only way to get in there before the blocks from his team faded away, and now Neb is past 3. Walrus should be safe. Gets a kiss. Stewart elects not to boost. Gets a kiss. BDL is past 2. And Walrus buys some time for his team. Oh! Wow, the TagPro lead and the flag carrier separated for a tiny moment, and in that time, the Orzaballs get a fantastic return to hold out the strength of their 3 cap lead. Scott sneaks out 2. Stewart, fantastic snipe, knows where the player is going to be and is confident of the timing. Inane Voyage, doing it. Shots fired, call answered. fantastic play from both teams right now as the SemiProbots look to just edge back into this game in the second half, down 4-1. Second half of the second game. Of course, if this game ends in a Orzaballs victory, an aim voyage, narrowly missing a snipe, then we will have the game split and we will be going into overtime. More TagPro for the viewer. Neb, good blocks from his team to get him out. Ahead of 4. Return from Tyrus. Cripple. Sees the impending snipe, just leans over and says no thank you. And his team gets their flag at a base themselves. Oh wait, they already had the flag at a base. They well, successfully. I guess it was sort of pending at that point. Neb passed 4 again. Inane voyage. Can he do it? The man, the myth, the legend. Oh, so narrow. Neb may not have had the boost anyway, as Stewart and Walrus were on his heels. But can't say he didn't get close. Inane voyage. The heat-seeking missile of the day. Deployed from the Orzaballs silo straight into our hearts. Truly a fantastic defensive performance. BDL 3 to beat after uncharacteristic spike from Inane voyage. The commentator's curse, commonly noted as when you compliment a player too much, they make a mistake. Or say, as soon as I say that the flags have been in base for a long time, BDL gets out of base. It's a hazard of the profession that we must just accept. BDL, fantastic return. Walrus has to watch his flag get out of base as he desperately tries to get a return for his team in the last 2 minutes of the game, when in reality they need 3. Of course, there's a strong chain of boosts on this map, and a skilled player can traverse it entirely in only less than 10 seconds, perhaps, if everything went well. So they're certainly not out. Walrus, pass 3. BDL cripple. Starting to overcommit a little bit in their desperation, I suspect. BDL proves me wrong. I'll shut my mouth and give you guys 30 seconds of unedited play because it's fantastic. Timely button returned by Neb. Stewart boosting himself into the back of a wall, loses his momentum, and perhaps with it the dying sparks of hope and ambition that Probats had in this game. But of course, all hope is not lost. They're going to hold their heads high and try and play well to the last second of the game, hoping upon hope they can take the game, pull the next game back, and win the series 2-1. BDL straight lining while the player in front of him tries to just weave. Gets the better of him, gets the return. That lessens the deficit. Cripple wants a snipe in the dying embers. Stewart is there anyway. Alright, folks. We've got overtime, just like the doctor ordered.
Well, alright guys. Got some highlights to show you from Game 2, Half 2. Go ahead and get that going for you. Here, the first one is the first cap for the Orzaballs in this half, bringing the total to 2-0 Orzaballs. Very easy sweep for Tyrus. Also, cap 2 coming in. Actually, you'll get to see that again. Scott coming in for cap number 2 for the Orzaballs for this half, which will bring the total up to 3-0 for the game. Next, you'll see some nice work by BDL to save his own bacon. Actually, save the whole team's bacon here. Nebuchadnezzar with the rolling bomb is able to get diffused, and BDL sneaked out, so Nebuchadnezzar had to take a lap. Scott's got some great button work here. I think the highlight must have just missed it. Scott had some great button work there to let Tyrus out of base and return someone. We got the first cap for the SemiProbots coming up here. No, never mind. That was the smart kiss by Orza to prevent that first cap. This would be the cap. Stewart putting on a clinic here, juking the current return leader Inane Voyage for this game to get their first cap of the game. There's a great return by the Orzaballs here. Cripple leading BDL in with the TagPro, and Tyrus able to get just around and get the return to keep their momentum alive. Next, Tyrus the flag carrier here for the Orzaballs in red. He's able to stay alive, even though he's got pretty much the whole team here trying to return him. Momentum is in favor of the Orzaballs going into overtime. So it's going to be an interesting overtime here.
Looks like the Orzaballs are ready. We're going to do 2 5-minute halves to the overtime game. No limit. And folks, this is at the point where we're playing for all the marbles. This is the potentially the last 10 minutes to be played for either of these teams for this season. Both teams can hang their heads high as they have made it to the equidistant 8. And of course, one of them will be successful and go on to the final 4, or whatever its mathematical equivalent is in this gaming community. Alright, the game is beginning. Who has got what it takes to take it all? Both teams jockeying for the best spawn position. Little do they know how important it will be. There's a TagPro sitting mid, and that's a huge boon to whoever can get it. The game starts now. 0-0. Probots, SemiProbots, Orzaballs. Inane Voyage sneaks in, gets it. Inane Voyage, already the first name off the tip of my tongue. Taking it on offense. Can he go both ways? Let's find out. Oh, just kidding. He dropped back on defense. I was looking at it the wrong way, folks. It's no fun if the commentator doesn't make a fool of himself at least once or twice. Tyrus. Good handoff for Scott. Can't quite stabilize in the one tile space. Bummer. Pinoxt. Going to the double boost strategy being employed by SemiProbots. Pinoxt. Oh, that was comical. All that setup for a play which in the end came to nothing. But of course, power-ups are up, and those are the focus. 4 people battling for mid. Pinoxt edges it. You never know who's going to get in a situation like that. You just got to push and pray. Stewart sneaks out 4. Past 1, potentially 2. Electing to go 2. Are the blocks there? It's a tall order to ask of his team coming in 2. Stewart has a regrab. Walrus has a return. No, he does not. Scott, excellent sneaky beaver heading through the 1 tile square and is now past 3. There won't be a return from his team, and Pinoxt will get him in the end, but kudos to him for pulling off the play that we've been looking for all game. Inane Voyage returns. Scott can't quite get Pinoxt. Matty Ice can. Teamwork from the other side. You like to see some bipartisan tagging. There it is. Scott gets a little too excited. Can't quite get on Walrus. Inane similarly avoided Walrus. Rewarded with a rolling bomb and a potential escape. Escape. Walrus. Past one. Matty Ice dies for him. Comes to naught. Peanuts. Panoxed. Peanut Panoxed. Spiked by Neb. There's a stop. Oh, Stewart. Just barely getting away from Neb, who had so recently spiked Panoxed. To get past 3. Ooh, if Panoxed had only hit that blind boost, praying back up into base, then his team would have taken the lead, but it is not so, and both flags are back in base. Temporarily, of course. Don't worry. Neb. 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 Matty. Neb. Neb. No. Neb, clear out of base, ultimately contained 4. Just kidding, sneaking out bottom. We are now back with your finely tuned jukes. Neb. Neb. On a fantastic carry right now. His team can't get, well, who knows if they would have gotten the button. Matty got the return first. Tyrus wants to power up, elects to play it safe. And then boost in, Matty Ice, right place, right time. Fortune favors the bold. Inane Voyage, trying to stay in line with Panox, knowing that it could be his team's only defense. Someone gets around him. Panox, had he pushed it, would have gotten the cap, but that the kind of split-second timing that requires a teammate to say with confidence that they're going to snipe this person in time is haphazard at best from even the best players. Neb, stop start. Matty is not sure what to do, but in the end makes the right decision. Inane Voyage will not be made a fool of. Inane Voyage. Neb. Inane Voyage. Neb. Both. You know, I should stop speaking in superlatives and finite statements because every time it goes the opposite way. Stewart picks up a TagPro. Walrus is going to try and stay tight to him. Inane, no thank you, says Stewart, who now has a chance to give his team the lead. Walrus needs to start creeping in because he does have a player behind him. Walrus gets it. Fantastic play from Stewart, leading him in. Walrus nice and patient behind with only so much time. Peanuts, pass 2. Is there a return? There is. Panoxed. 2-0. The chain is dead, but their hopes are alive as the SemiProbots take a 2-cap lead in the first half of this 10-minute game. Near the death. Very strong performance
2,
from
1.
both teams, and just a small separation of about 35 seconds in this game. Both teams capable of capping more times. We're going to see it open up just like in the other games we've seen. This is a truncated game, but there's still that second half mentality, and I think both teams are going to be pushing the envelope a little bit more. Good stuff. Kazoo coming in for Tyrus for the Orzaballs. Change of personnel. Perhaps he's a more attacking-minded defender or a someone who's got that capability to carry the flag quite well when his team needs to push back and tie it up. SemiProbots split in the sequential 16, and now they have split in the equidistant 8. Can they get the final third most important game again? It's only 5 minutes in between us and that reality, but of course also in between us and that reality is a Orzaballs that I am sure will go down fighting.
We might have time to show you the highlights from the previous half. Let's go ahead and give it a shot.
Fantastic.
First one is Scott sneaking in to get through the gate. Walrus and Matty unable to get him. Excellent carry there. Next, we see a clutch boost from the SemiProbots here with Stewart, able to avoid a sure cap for the Orzaballs, which would have kept their momentum alive. Just barely sneaks past Nebuchadnezzar there. Next, Peanut with an excellent grab after the return here. He's got the juice. He wants to make it last or make it work. So he gets a great grab and an escape. Next you've got Walrus with some incredible jukes, making an aim voyage look foolish twice in a row, 3 times. And that actually leads to a cap once Stewart picks up a TagPro in mid, able to return or send an aim voyage home. Walrus wisely waits to get another quick return on Nebuchadnezzar. Matty Ice with a block on Scott. Next cap came very soon after with Peanut, able to go top and get around an aim voyage again. Scott with an unfortunate grab gives the lead for the SemiProbots.
Yeah, some truly fantastic flag carrying from both teams. You'd expect no less on this map.
Okay, the Orzaballs are asking for a minute, probably to go over what happened last half and see what they can do to change. Do you see anything that they could have done differently?
Well, truly was neck and neck to that last minute of the game, and then just a TagPro put in the hands of someone who's feeling particularly capable is hard to overcome, and that's what really started that. So you got to be on power-ups, but that said, the other team's going to get power-ups. You kind of have to accept that unless you're gods among men in terms of memory and communication. But when they come, you got to be able to deal. That said, they have shown capable, the Orzaballs, of course, of getting on the front foot enough to keep the other team out of position for power-ups and stuff. So, the only truly way to dominate a game is to do it thoroughly. But like I said, I think both teams are going to have patches even in this 5-minute game. If you're just tuning in, we've got I think that's a high of 22, or I think we had 25 a moment ago viewers. Thanks for tuning in, viewers. There's potentially only 5 more minutes of play, but of course, should the universe of TagPro be feeling dramatic, we will have another overtime period after this. If the Orzaballs can tie it up, if they take the lead, of course, they get the whole cake. I'm Swergonomics. This is Aaron215 stream. We are entering overtime half 2 any moment now.
Maybe we could show you some quick highlights from game 1, half 1. Maybe. Maybe not. No, I'm not sure how to make it replay. Maybe like this. There we go. This is I wanted to show it, but I guess it's not going to. Apologize. Still learning the highlights and how to make them work.
No problem. While you're working on that, so we've seen let's see, how many players have we seen for both teams? We've seen Tyrus in, BDL in, we've seen not Cripple in. Yeah, we've seen Cripple in. We've seen a decent amount of rotation. Sometimes you, especially for majors teams, you just see a set 4, and they are the people expected to be playing 40 minutes week in, week out. Postseason, it's nice to see still some teams electing to make switch up based on the moment. A good astute captain making tactical changes can really change the flow of the game. Perhaps a defender who's slightly more aggressive and pushing back to catch up to that regrab, is necessary at a certain time. That said, noticing which players are rearing to go and have that drive to make the difference is of course very important as well. We're hoping to get underway soon. I think the Orzaballs not quite prepared yet.
Alright, well, I'll go ahead and show you some highlights if I can get it to work. go ahead.
Kazoo not actually going in. Looks like Neb taking him out. See who fills him in. Great, look forward to the highlights.
I'm working on it. I think I've got a better system to do next time. We'll see how this works. Okay. Oh, they're going. All right. Well, we're not going to do any more highlights. We are, in fact, going to go to the game here for overtime 2, where it's a black screen, I know. We're waiting on groups still. Actually, we'll wait for this.
Here it is. 2 caps need to be answered by the Orzaballs. And on the map we have a TagPro going to the blue team, which is
3,
the
2,
Orzaballs. That's a good potential advantage at the start. Rolling bomb middle, I suspect, won't make it out of there undefused. Just kidding. Inane gets there so quickly that, well, Panoxt and Inane bounce off each other so dramatically that Panoxt is shot into the spike barrier in the middle of 2-channel. And, potentially a good chance for Tyrus to get out past a few. Scott can keep up the good work with TagPro. The other team, it runs out, and Scott probably gonna just head back to regrab if he's thinking about it right. Walrus gets 1 return. Scott manages to get out, keep the chain going. Very important that they have this chain going for as long as possible and try and get some caps out of it, because they only have 4 minutes, which really isn't that long. Tyrus, free grab, the chain continues. Walrus electing to come back pretty far, manages to stay ahead. It's a boost, hits it unflinchingly. Scott, thinking about making a grab, does. Walrus wants that power up but respects the importance of the flag carrier. Gets the return, gets the power up. Patience rewarded in due time. Matty Ice Stewart not quite finding the chemistry needed to use that TagPro perfectly. Peanuts has come back in the game after addressing his lag issues. P now Oixt. Panoxt. Kinda like P now Oixt. He's got 3 to beat still. 2 to beat. Are the blocks there? No. Perhaps the jukes weren't there either. Stewart returned. Chain reset. Scott past 2. Looking to get past 3 or 4 with some good blocks. Slows up. Speeds up. Comes around. Can't quite find the right angle, and regardless, Panoxt was on the button. Another storm to weather for the Orzaballs. TagPro coming up in the corner. Neba spotting it. Stewart gets a juke juice. It's going to be helpful for this return. Ooh, can't get there in time. And the TagPro in base looks to make it a very sticky situation. Tyra staying alive as long as possible. Neba! Walrus sent into the flag by the Poost. That's something you can't quite predict. Matty Ice. The team's on his shoulders. Can't quite escape. Panox there. Has his own turn to give it a try. 2 ahead. This has been a desperate round of attempts. Matty Ice and Walrus not close enough to help out as Stewart gets blocked out by 2. A few dying grasps in a row that ultimately amounted to less than everybody staying alive. Of course, that opportunity isn't always presented to you. And we have the first cap to cut down the lead by the Orzaballs. The lead is only 2 to 1. It's a 1-cap game, folks. Everything is possible. Scott trying to cut the lead down to 0. Build up some momentum for his team. The momentum's already there, however. Ooh, the chain is potentially broken. Oh, the TagPro going up on offense. Scott's going to get a free grab while the other team struggles to make it out of base despite the TagPro. Walrus, of course, gets out of base. Neba, I suspect, only has a couple seconds left on that juke juice. He's going to get something out of it. Scott, pass 3. Return is a cap scenario. Neba gets it himself at the cost of letting a player get ahead of him. With 2 blockers, though, there to help, with 2 players to help him. Not necessarily a bad decision. Scott screeching out by the hair on his chin. Adias gets the return. Panoxt wants a return of his own. Gets it. Pinpoint snipe. See, personally, if I was Tyrus, of course, granted I was lucky enough to be in that situation, I would have tried to cut up around with that juke juice behind the spike to just put that little spike in between you and the sniper. As Panoxt can't get the block from Walrus. Tyrus, fantastic last man back return to keep the lead at 1. Tyrus squeaks past Stewart. Walrus there to make it the chances of him escaping virtually impossible. Inane out 4, past 3. Matty Ice needs to do everything in his powers to stay alive because this is a dangerous scenario as Inane is picking up a power-up in the bottom right that has been left unattended. Panoxt, quick on the button. Rolling bomb knows no bounds. Not today, as the button sees right through that. Matty Ice forced to go all the way back to team's base, which is really he knows how bad that is because it makes your team's regrab way poorer.
3, 2, 1.
And there it is, folks. The SemiProbots have held out for 5 minutes, only giving up 1 cap, and take the series 2-1 to head into the Foci or Final Four of the Minors post season. The conference finals they will be in. Good stuff.
Very good.
That's a game with not a lot separating those teams. Not much at all. The first seed did win in the end if you're the kind of person who follows along to those things, taking down the 5th seed. That said, many people had picked the Orzaballs to upset, and we can see why. They did not give up till the end. They had the momentum there at the end and just couldn't quite push through the final distance. Great stuff. Thank you for tuning in.
Yep, one last highlight reel for you. It's the last half here. Not as exciting as the other halves. First half we got stopping this cap. This series of events here ended up keeping the SemiProbots in it. Tyrus there waited forever to get this cap and just couldn't get it. Matty Ice here trying to get away to prevent the cap. They push Peanut in to get the return, and all they have to do is block out Stewart for the cap. Matty Ice trying to catch up from behind. This is Peanut here getting a nice snipe on Tyrus. Probably wouldn't have ended up being cap anyway, but it was a nice snipe. And then Matty here juking towards the ends of the game, last 20 seconds, trying to stay alive to keep his team on top, and does so by juking out Scott here, and a Inane Voyage to just kill some time. Very great game by the SemiProbots and the Orzaballs. Very close matchup, which is what we expected. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. Thank you very much, Sorgonomics, for commentating for me. Really
Thank you for having
appreciate
me. I appreciate it. It's something that I haven't done much, but it's fun. So I appreciate you guys having me. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yep. Alright, we'll see you next week for the Foci Final Four. Final Four. Alright, have a good
Thanks,
week.
guys.